G'day people, we're having a look at another safe active street. Today we're going out to Bassendean and looking at Whitfield Street. Now this was constructed in 2020 and opened in 2021. Now the way I've normally gone to Bassendean is actually turn left here and gone down that little pathway there and under the underpass. It's taken into the Bassendean CBD. But when I discovered the safe active street, going another way, which is up here to this railway bridge. Now the turn off here is hidden behind a tree these days. It's rather hard to find. Now through this ride I'm going to reference a bunch of slides. Some of them are taken from the evaluation report done by the Department of Transport for this particular project, and others are taken from an Austroads presentation which was done in March of 2024 by a couple of main roads or DOT staff on the entire program. And it's all about, they put up 50 odd slides in a webinar on the lessons learned across all the streets they've done so far. So I'm going to make some general points, and I'm going to make about the whole program, and I'm going to make some specific points about this street. And if you want to have a look at the slides, just I'll put them at the end. You can fast forward through and just look at them one by one, or I'll put a link in the description to both the webinar where you can find the slides and the evaluation report. Now this link that I'm on at the moment, this bit's in Google Maps, the next little bit's in Google Maps. Whitfield Street itself is not in Google Maps, so even though it's been open for 3 years as a safe active street, you won't find it on Google Maps yet. This is a pretty crummy connection, but it's not part of the project. But remember, all these projects have a clearly defined scope, both start and finish, so geographical boundaries, and this was clearly outside the boundary. Where the project does start is on the other side of these lights. But what I've found, having gone through here now 4 or 5 times, I'm yet to see any signage or any pavement markings or anything which give you an idea of where to go to get to Bassendean or find this safe active street. That said though, they make it clear in the evaluation report or the slide somewhere that the safe active street is all about local connectivity. So it's all about enabling the community to get to local facilities, shops, schools, playgrounds, parks, ovals, tennis clubs, bowling clubs, all that kind of stuff, church I guess. Not connectivity to the principal shared path like I've just been on. So that might explain why there's a pretty poor connection between the two. So what I'll do, I'll ride to the other end of the path. We'll have a look at the Sandy Beach playground at the other end, which is quite fantastic, and then turn around and do it in reverse. And if you've seen it one way, then you've probably seen it both ways. You don't necessarily need to have a look. So it actually starts here in this wee little bit of shared path with a whole lot of shrubbery which needs trimming back, and it's actually worse going the other way because there's more branches hanging on the other side of the path. So up here we've got a green crossing, hopefully, yep, can't see your way there, and that garbage truck is actually pavement marking, but all of these you can see that start with a nice big blue sign which is a bit faded. It's a bowling club on my right. Now this section of street, they put down pneumatic counters, and so they could count how many vehicles and how fast they were going. Went through here before and after they did this, and they found that the speeds and volumes dropped. Well, no, the speeds dropped. Why is that? Well, they say that the success factors for these streets put in lots of speed cushions like one on this logo, formalise the marking, which you can see they've done here with both pavement markings and different coloured asphalt, and narrow the street. And if you do a combination of all those things, as well as putting in stuff which clearly says it's a safe active street, it works. You don't really need to put up speed signs to tell people to go 30 if you put good engineering in it. Now, you notice along here, they've put in these islands. I don't know if I can cut through the side of the islands. I don't think there's enough space for that. But it kind of zigzags down the street. So instead of the street formerly just would have been this great big drag strip. Now, by putting in these islands and by changing the parking from side to side,
I'll move my car.
It removes the kind of the drag strip feel from it, and so lessens the chance of drivers speeding like hell. Now, this section is Bassendean Primary School I'm going past. There was a massive drop in the number of vehicle movements from like 750 to 288, and there's also a drop in vehicle speeds. And I think part of that is because Bassendean Primary's put a lot of effort into getting kids to walk, scooter or cycle to school, and it's probably reduced the need for parents to drive. They haven't done the kinking along there, but I guess that's because the school is there and they need to have like safe drop-off lines on that side, etc. Paradoxically though, at one end, there's this end I think, Harcourt Street, speeds went up. And I think that's possibly because vehicle movements dropped by 2/3, allowing the remaining drivers to go faster. Now, we don't have priority at this intersection, but they're all traffic calmed going that way. So, you know, they've put in islands or humps or whatever you want to call them, cushions to slow the drivers down. Kids been out with a chalk, showing that they're actually can do some stuff on their own in the street. Now again, this section you can see formalised parking, and I think this works quite well. I'm just going to try riding through here. It's really not enough space. Yeah, it's doable, but only if there's no cars parked on the other side and you don't get a case of the wobbles or something. But there's so little traffic on this street. Like I said, I've now done this 5 times in the space of 2 weeks, and I've hardly seen any cars on it at all in the middle of the day. Like if there was a lot of traffic, then I'd be saying yes, put cut-throughs there, so you're not going to have the issue of potentially having a driver trying to overtake you going through one of these little pinch points. There doesn't seem to be a problem here. Another point about landscaping and beautification, see how the islands are large enough that they can put trees in them, which is great. The street's going to look much better in a couple of years' time as those trees mature, and I think, you know, residents and people using the street probably will think it's a lot better. Now, this next section I think is a fail. Whoa! Granny was just not thinking or looking or doing anything. Good thing the speed was limited to 30 kilometres an hour, because I was able to brake and anyway, I think this one's a fail because they've put in islands, they've put down the red asphalt, they haven't formalised the parking. Let me move my head into the sun. And so it doesn't visually break up the street. I think if it just, at the very least, if they put parking on one side or even on both sides, we've done it even just using pavement markings or different coloured asphalt, would have visually narrowed the street. Now this next section is an interesting one because I'm going to stay on the shared path going down to Sandy Beach. So they've built a flash new playground down here. Vehicle movements have gone up, but that's because it's a great playground. And I can see a lot of families would want to bring their kids down here because it's excellent. The thing is though, speeds went up along this stretch of road from like 48 to 49 kilometres an hour. But you can see, I haven't done a damn thing to it. It's just a big open stretch of black asphalt. So maybe, you can think of this as being the control section of street for this project. Where they've done nothing, vehicle speeds and volumes have gone up. But where they've done quite a bit, volumes and speeds have dropped substantially. And look, I'm going to guess that people driving here are coming from further away. It'd be nice to think that the families that live kind of within the catchment area of the safe active street could ride or scooter down here with the kids, because the street certainly provides the ability to do so. Now, I think we've gone beyond the end of the Safe Active Street project. We're outside the scope now. It's a pretty crusty old path. Just going to ride down to the river to show you another bit of connectivity beyond the Safe Active Street. So, again, if you lived up there, you could ride all the way down to the river. And from here, this path meanders all the way around the Swan River. You can end up in the CBD if you want to. It's 20-something kilometres away. It's a bit muddy in places, and there's boardwalks, and you've got to carry the bike upstairs in one spot. But it's a really good ride. And some great looking houses over there. But where I am now, this is all a flood zone on this side of the river, and the power poles on that section of road I was on just then, they've all got flood markings on the pole. So, if a real estate agent ever is showing someone around, trying to flog them a house or some land, you can look at the power pole and go, oh look, the flood level is 2 feet above my head. Oh, what's going to happen when the next flood comes down the Avon? Am I going to have 4 feet of brown sludge going through my lounge room, or do I need to build my house up like that one over the road there, where they've obviously brought in a great big sand pad and they've built the house on a big man-made island, so I won't get damp feet in the next flood. Sandy Beach play space. This is fantastic. But for cyclists, yep, fill up a bit on, a couple of bike racks, lots of nice tools and things. Hope the pump works. This thing is what I like. It's partly hidden behind a tree, but it's a nice little castle, I think. Shall I ride on this section of the road? Might as well. I'll just ride down here to where the path starts. So I'm assuming this is what Whitfield Street, probably, or Whitfield Road, whatever it is, looked like prior to getting the treatment. Wide open, no formalised parking, but there's no stopping around here. They're going. They're just tonking along at a nice casual speed. Okay, back we go. Now, one thing I'm going to look for is to see whether there's another set of tools along here somewhere. Back at Sandy Beach, there's a little bike parking area. It's got usual tools set up on the pump. About halfway up the street to the CBD. I've never ridden on this side. There's a little park, and they've put in a nice water fountain and tools and bike parking pump. Just want to see if they've done a third one. I would have put one outside the school, because if kids are riding to and from school all the time, there's always the possibility they're going to need something tightened up. It'd be good to have a set of tools, or of course a pump. But I guess they didn't think of that. But it'd be interesting to see if they put the pneumatic counters and stuff in this section of street, what they found speeds are like, because it is a dead end. Probably the only people that go down there are residents perhaps. Maybe they just don't speed, maybe it didn't need treating. Maybe they left it like that, because when they did the evaluation they went, people down here are sensible and they're driving sensibly, and we don't need to drop in all this engineering to slow down people that are already slow. So I'm just going to duck into, I'm going to go left at this intersection and just show you what the treatment looks like for people approaching this intersection from either direction. And I should go back to that one, that lady just went blattering through, and see what it looked like from her perspective. But you can see they've put down a 30k sign here on that road, which is pretty much invisible in the shade and against the very pale backdrop of this asphalt. I mean, this asphalt here is ancient. It's almost white with age. And I haven't put down a 30k thing on this side, but you know, it would work against this darker asphalt, which is new. But we'll go back. Let's just go back and look at that intersection, just for fun, and see if there's any clues as to why she was in this intersection. It looks like I might have to do all the intersections now. Why did she zip through without stopping? Is there a clue? Okay. I think I know why. So, let's come back, see where the give way sign is. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but it's kind of a long way back from the corner. Maybe, I don't know, I don't get why she didn't see it. So yeah, I'm confused about right away. Waving through. Or maybe just had, you know, old people's driving problems. Whatever, I guess it just goes to show that, you know, safe, active streets, what makes them safe is, well, one of the things that makes them safe is the low speed. Because although that was clearly very high potential for a collision there, because she wasn't going that fast and I wasn't going that fast, evasive action was possible. Collision avoided. You know, it's the outcome you want. You know, if people do dumb things, you don't want that to lead to bad outcomes. If people do dumb things, you want to have things set up so that the outcome can be fairly benign. It'd be better if they don't do dumb things in the first place. But I mean, there's nothing you can do about road engineering to stop people just ignoring give way signs. Or, you know, driving along just going la 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 la. Okay. So notice they've put these little concrete paths here for cyclists to use. It's all very nice. So, you know, again, just reiterating the stuff that came out of the evaluation report and the Austroads webinar. You know, the stuff they've put in here, the different coloured asphalt, I really like that. Although they were a bit like near, there's a couple of reasons I really like it. First, it clearly differentiates the different roles of different parts of the street. That's parking, this is driving. Secondly, as a cyclist, it tells me this is a cycling street. From a wayfinding perspective, that's hugely important. you should be able to navigate the bike network without needing signs. You should be able to do it, you know, by the colour of the road or the colour of the paths. These islands, look, some people I know would say they absolutely hate the pinch points, maybe, but from what I can see, they're highly effective. And what we should be looking at is the effectiveness of them, not whether we like them or not. And if it's dropping speeds and dropping car volumes, then that's a good thing. Now this is where there's this park here. There's a water fountain. A couple of bike loops and some tools and a pump. Now we're back in the CBD. So there's an apartment complex here that's gone up in the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. And this road that we're coming up to now, this is the main drag. There's actually a cafe about 150 metres from here that I really like. I usually stop at every time I come through here. But I'm not stopping there today. I just thought I'd try that as an alternative to crossing the road, see what it's like. It's actually a bit easier because all those trees they've planted in the middle of the road that are lovely actually block your view of cars coming from the left. I found it better to go out, use that island and cross the road that way. Now why is traffic slow along here? Well, the road's not super wide. Parked out, but the supermarkets and stuff along the side here, I think people know that, well, it's either people going in and out of that supermarket car park, and you don't want to be belting along because you might run into one of them. This bowling club, I think he's still operating. Oh, I actually got they're doing the grass at the moment. We've got one of those little things that pokes holes in the grass to aerate it. Alright, the last little section here. See if we get our face peeled off by these weeping willows, peppermints, whatever you want to call them, and we'll be at the end. So like I said, I'll put up some slides that I think are useful from the things, and I'll put in some links, and there you have it. The Bassendean Shared Active Street.